Hey everybody, Kim here with Little Biz Resources, and let's jump into creating ebooks and reports as a service. And yes, you can get started in 24 hours or less. All right, this is the 5th video in a multi-part series. The first video covered the 9 services as an overview. There are 9 services you can get started in 24 hours or less. The second video was ideas for reaching out to find customers or clients in general. And the 3rd through 11th videos cover the different services mentioned in the first video. This is number 5. All of these videos are meant to help you get started if you want to offer different services. There will be links for different resources in each description, or you can go to littlebizresources.com/9services and everything will be compiled together there. All right, so let's jump into service 3, offering ebooks and reports as a service. Now, considerations for this training. The purpose of this video is to give you a better idea of the service and then give you ideas on how you can promote the service. I'm going to talk about different resources you can utilize to help speed up the process of creating ebooks and reports. If you choose to use those recommendations, each of those resources has its own specific training to help you in your journey. Okay, so we're going to do an overview of this, and you can do it without resources, but I just want you to understand that if you choose a specific resource, go through their training to get more information, okay? All right, so first, what are ebooks and reports? Ebooks are digital books, right? So if you have a physical book and you pull it off your shelf, you can't pull a digital book off your shelf. They're read on digital devices such as computers, smartphones, tablets, e-readers like a Kindle or a Nook. You can read it on your iPad, etc. Reports, for our purposes, are digital reports, and the final user can print out the report when we publish them as a PDF. This is very easy to do. You can do it with or without, additional resources, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. So what are the purpose of these? Now, in marketing, we teach a method of giving away ebooks and reports to capture interested individuals. You may have heard of these as, opt-ins or giveaways, and there's several different terms for them. So lead magnet, that's the one that I was thinking of, lead magnet. Now, you or your client do not have to give them away, but you could still sell these with the intent to turn them into buyers of other products or services. The idea of the giveaway is you're giving them away to find out, to capture an email or to get some sort of data point on them, whether it's pixel data, etc., where you can retarget them with the next step or additional services or additional products, whatever it is. Now, sales. And when you're talking about sales, ebooks are a hot item on platforms like Amazon. I'm sure there's other ones. Barnes & Noble has them. There's tons of places online. Plenty of people make good money doing this, but a lot of authors don't know how to format or what to do. So you could offer this as a service and they sell the ebook or report. So they provide you with the content and then you would just put it into the ebook or report format. Now, if you want to learn to create Kindle ebooks to sell on Amazon separately, not for anybody else, just for yourself, there's a link in the description for a different training. That's not what we're talking about here, right? We're talking about offering this as a service to a client. So if you're like, hey, I want to sell ebooks on Amazon, there's a different training for that. It's a free training. The link's in the description. Okay, so then continuing on the purpose of these, the value to existing customers. So depending on the niche, giving away or selling ebooks or reports to existing customers can make sense. So you can upsell or offer different services or products. So like think of it this way. Let's say that you are in, we'll just say in the craft market as a thing. You sell, patterns for embroidery, right? You sell embroidery patterns and you're like, you know what? I'm going to give away either a mini ebook or a free report on how to use these embroidery patterns for something specific, right? Now, when people get that book, whether they buy it or they are given it free, they're going to go through and they go, oh, wow, these patterns are really cool because they're your patterns. They're going to come back and buy from you. Right? Well, that would be the client in this case. So that if you think about that, if they already have existing customers, they can utilize their existing customers to think of ways to come to you and say, hey, I'd like to give my client or my customers a report that includes this. And then you can help them with that, right? So that's something that that's another purpose of these. Another one is brand recognition. So if the goal of the client is brand recognition, which there are lots of people out there who are dead set, like they have to have brand products, branded recognition, they just want to have their brand known, creative books or sponsored ebooks or reports are a great way to get the brand in front of people. Now, there's a lot of ways to do this, okay? So let's just look at a big brand for the sake. Let's just take Coca-Cola because they're huge. One way they could get additional brand recognition, besides the fact that you're walking down the store and you see them everywhere. Can't tell I'm having withdrawals or anything. But let's say that they decided they wanted to partner with like a children's author, and then they publish a book that the author wrote, and then they sponsor the entire process so that it's either, cheap, super cheap for the book, or maybe they just give away the books, right? And maybe it's a Christmas story where the kids in the story share a Coke as a Christmas gift, or some variation of that where it's something cutesy and relates back to their brand. And it's sponsored by them. So it doesn't even have to necessarily have Coca-Cola in it, right? It could be just a completely different, it's just a sponsorship. This is a great way to say, hey, look, yeah, well, we can connect you with, and then maybe you reach out to an author and say, hey, we have somebody who wants to sponsor this. And, would you like to, be an author of that or something? If you have that type of resource, that's a good way to do that. Now, these are only some of the purposes. I just wanted to, touch on some. You can obviously think of lots of different reasons and ways to use ebooks and reports. So let's quick talk about how to create ebooks and reports. Now, I'm not going to go into a deep dive here, but the type of ebook you want to create will vary based on the purpose. Okay. So we just talked about, various purposes that you would use an ebook or a report for. Now, ebooks for marketing, and of course, you're primarily promoting something. You can use a tool like below and speed up the process, or you can use Google Docs. I say Google Docs, it's Google Docs. There's a lot of formatting that goes into Google Docs, and it's a little bit harder to use, but it's free, right? You can get started for free. Then Amazon, if you want to do an ebook for Amazon Kindle, there are tons of different software claims to do this, but I have found the easiest to get started and the cheapest is Google Docs. Right? I think the next level up is like $500 a year or something. And everything else that's in between it doesn't really talk about it's going to specifically create the book for you. You still have to put it in Google Docs first. So I'm like, oh, if you're going to have to put it there first, you might as well do that. And then, of course, Amazon has a Kindle formatting thing right there. So you would just use what's available. Or as a third option, I should say, is you could also just subcontract that out to somebody on Fiverr, right? You don't even have to do that if it's going to be Amazon. Now, if you're going to be using a tool, I recommend that you use one of these, and that's because you can get started as little as 24 hours. If you use these tools, they are not compatible with the Amazon Kindle format. They were a couple years ago, but Amazon has since changed the formatting that they accept, so they aren't anymore. And the two that I found that are really easy to get started with, you can get started in as little as 24 hours or less, probably a lot less, is Scribble. And I made my giveaway ebooks using this, and it was super fast and easy. And then Designer, which is a similar claim as Scribble, but it has different offers up front, and you just have to kind of look and see which ones are better. Now, tools like these are great for pushing, like, say, affiliate products. So if you're going to write a book that's pushing a lot of affiliate products, then a tool like this is quick and easy. You can get in there, you can do it fast, you can put the information in. It doesn't have to be 100% top notch, right? And that's the thing you have to keep in mind, is that these tools are meant to be quick. You can be very professional with them, don't get me wrong, but they're meant to be quick. And, the more you use them, the faster you're going to go, and the easier it's going to be to use them over time. If you have a lot of links in it, Amazon doesn't like a lot of links. So that's why you would need something like this, is if you're linking to a lot of content. When I created my first $10,000 a month, $10,000 a month with 10 sales ebook, I had to use a tool because I was linking to a bunch of stuff. I'm rewriting a completely different version for the Amazon Kindle that's going to expand more in content. It's going to be just a lot deeper in detail and have a lot less links in it. Or maybe it'll have the same amount of links. It'll just look less because there's a lot more content in it. I don't know. We'll see when it's done. So tools like these are really great for publishing the affiliate products. Highlight your services, right? Your services or your client services. Or again, if you link to a lot of content, you'll need to promote these on your own and deliver on your own. So like put them into Google Drive or something, or put them, there's lots of third-party platforms. So using software as a service provider. For this slide, let's just look at Scribble, since I use that to make my ebooks and reports. So we're going to say, hey, if I am working with a client, how is this going to work, right? This is what we're looking at. Now the client, there are a couple different ways that you can do this, but generally the client gives you the content, or you can upsell copywriting services, but we'll talk more about that later. You take the content and you plug it into the template from Scribble and adjust it as necessary, right? It's actually really easy to use. I don't even think I watched all the training videos, and I figured it out pretty quick. Now, when you are ready, you send a link to the client. So you finish up the book and you say, okay, I want to send a link to the client to have them review and provide changes. I will tell you now, I don't know if that's on the front end or not. I can't remember. I bought all of it, so it's one of them. So just go through and look and see what works for you if that's something you want to do. It's a really inexpensive resource considering how much value there is to it. All right, so then of course you send the link to them. They may provide some comments, some feedback, and then you guys go back and forth until it's done. Once it's finalized, you download it as a PDF, already as a PDF, right? You don't have to worry about it. It only downloads in a PDF format. So they can't change it. They can't alter it. They can't really do anything with it because it's downloaded as PDF. Now, I understand those of you that say, oh, there's Adobe and you can change it. I get that. It's probably not going to be super easy. And if they've already bought it from you, who cares? So you or your client can host the ebook or the report on Google Drive or another cloud service, and you provide the link upon purchase. Or places like Shopify and Etsy, they permit hosting of digital files, though I should warn that Etsy has some limitations. There are other third-party platforms as well. I think it's called Sendowl or something like that. That will hold, it's digital delivery, and there's plenty of other platforms as well, right? So this is just to give you some ideas. Now check out the different software presentations if you want to offer this as a service, because these might help you get more ideas too, right? So the links are in the description. All right, so what types of customers want ebooks or reports? That's kind of critical, right? Even though it is really easy to create ebooks and reports, there are a few points that make this service critical, okay? Not everyone knows about the ease of creation. I'll tell you what, I didn't realize how easy it was. I was like, what? And when I saw the software, I'm going, yeah, right. In fact, I bought the software and then it took me months before I got around to playing with it because I'm going, this can't be that easy. Like was convinced it couldn't be that easy. And then when I went in, I did it. I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I take so long to get to this? This is so easy, right? But even though it is easy, it does typically take some time. Now, this is even more time when you're offering the service to your clients because you have this back and forth between you and your clients. So people who don't have the time need someone to do it for them. And they're the ones that you're going to be working with and you're going to go back and forth. But I want you to keep that in mind, that it still takes time, right? And whether it's putting it into the software or whatever. A lot of people don't know about the software, so they're already using something else that's taking a lot longer. You can get templates. It's super easy to use, right? But they don't necessarily know that. And even if they do know that, they're going to be like me and they go, well, it can't be that easy. And then many people just don't want to do it. I can't even tell you how many people don't want to do it. In fact, they won't want to do it to the point where they will just go and buy PLR content or something that's completely horrible and probably costs just as much as paying you for it, just because they don't want to learn how to do it. They don't have the desire to learn it. They don't have the desire to figure out the steps. They think it's too difficult, too costly, whatever. So if you can overcome the whole it's too costly and say, hey, this is the service that I offer and this is the value behind it, you're going to have a leg up, because a lot of people think that creating ebooks or reports is extremely difficult and costly. So how do I find businesses that need ebooks and or reports? Now, this makes a great add-on service to other services. Okay, we've talked about it. This is something that you want to think about. But if you want to sell this as a standalone service, you can reach out to other businesses, and this is a business-to-business marketing strategy. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind. You're not going to be, because you're selling to other businesses, you are targeting other business owners, right? You're not targeting an end user in this case, and you need to let them know how you can help. I recommend you watch the video on 3 methods to find prospects and leads that we created. That was video 2, and the link will be in the description. Then you can get listed on Fiverr and other service marketplaces. Fiverr is highly competitive, so unless you have something that can be unique to you, then you're going to have major competition with people who already have plenty of established stuff on there, but it is an option. You could also create your own ebook or report to generate leads and get potential customers excited about your service. Now, what other services can you offer? Well, you can offer this as a it's standalone, not standalone, whatever service. You may want to offer it as a bundle or extra with something else. I like bundles because it really can give it value, right? So something that you would normally charge, let's say you normally charge like $500 a month for something, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and charge $750 a month, but to make this look like it's valuable, I'm going to include other stuff with it. That's a bundle. So, and I'm not saying you need to charge the same amount. So if you were going to charge $50 for an ebook just to put it together, not to write the whole thing, you'd say, okay, well, maybe it's $50 to put it together or $100 to put it together, and they have a $500 service. Don't charge them $600. You're bundling this. You're giving them the value. You can charge them $1,000. You can charge them $1,500 and say, hey, you're going to get three ebooks or reports. We're going to do, you can put in a combination of things and make it look like it's a lot of value. Now, potential services to offer separate or as a bundle, which of course I do recommend the bundle when you're talking about ebooks, because people they need some help understanding the value behind it. And until they get to that point, they're going to be a little hesitant to buy it as a standalone. Now, plenty of people still buy it as a standalone. Look at Fiverr. They've got a ton of them on there. But let's look at this. So copywriting services. This is where you're going to offer more of a full service ebook or report by including the actual content as part of the offer. You need to charge a lot more for this. Copywriting services alone are worth bank, right? And we're going to have, when we get to copywriting, we'll have a bunch of different resources for you to get started quickly. But this is something where you can literally offer a full service ebook or report, and you just include the content, the copywriting aspects of it. It's going to take you a lot longer to write. It's going to be a lot more back and forth. So you need to make sure that you charge appropriately for that. Funnel Designer is ideal for building an opt-in list. Funnels, like multiple books or reports. If they have it, maybe that they have already have a secondary product and they just want to add this to the front of it, but their system doesn't let them, or where maybe they're selling on Etsy, right? It's really difficult to do. You can't really give away stuff on Etsy. So you can give it away as whatever the opt-in is up front. And then for your upsell, maybe you send them to an Etsy page. I don't recommend that, but it is an option that you can do. I don't recommend that because the links can get tricky and you can end up promoting somebody else's content right above the post. So if you do decide to do that, you need to reach out because we have some tips for that. Now, email marketing is another one. So especially if this is for an opt-in, right? If it's a giveaway of some sort or some sort of lead magnet, you need to make sure that your client is set up with email marketing. If they're not, that is definitely a service that you need to say, hey, you need this service. It is pointless for them to be offering this up front and not capturing emails or capturing other data, right? So email follow-ups are critical, and this is something that you could offer as a potential additional service but as part of the bundle. Now, we talked about this one last time, rewards and loyalty programs. These are excellent for repeat customer type situations. And you can offer the ebook or report, your client can offer the ebook or report as part of the rewards program. So you would say, okay, I'm going to set up a rewards program. And by the way, let me set up the rewards as well. The rewards are going to be these ebooks, these reports, these whatever it is. Let me set that up as well. So that's kind of a bundle where you go, okay, you're going to purchase a rewards loyalty program for us. We're going to do the setup. We're going to do the hosting. We're going to do the email marketing with it. And by the way, we're also going to do the rewards that are included in it, right? That's that whole section there. And then video creation. Again, this is another one you can add on with it. You can take the ebook and turn it into a video format and offer it as an upsell, offer it as a bonus for different things, offer it as additional opt-in. You can do all these different elements with that as well. And you sell it to your client, say, okay, or put as part of the package, okay, we're going to do as our rewards and loyalty program, we're going to do email marketing. We're going to do this video creation where it it's kind of like we're going to offer it as an upsell. So when they claim their reward, they automatically get offered this complimentary video with it, or the video that complements it, not free, complements it. This, they're going to purchase it for $37 if they want to, and you're going to have a percentage of people who will do that. So these are different things that you can do to help them build up their income, help them build up their goodwill within their audience, and of course, generate more leads for them. Okay, so we've got more on all these in upcoming videos. As you can see, each of these videos talks a little bit more about how these different services can intertwine with each other and how you can build on them and offer them as bundles and complementary services. Now, the next video in the series will look at funnel designer services. The links to resources are in the description. Please check out my ebook, $10,000 a month with only 10 sales, if you're interested in it. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and help the video spread to more people. We do have a Facebook group if you'd like to join it. That is also in the description. And you can come live on Thursdays here on YouTube and ask questions if you want. We've got a live Q&A / kind of like what's working now that we do every single week, every Thursday. And I thank you for watching this. And if you do have any questions, you can leave them here on this video or hop into the Facebook group or come live on Thursdays. Thanks.